It's Disney Cruise News time today. I am excited. There's going to be a lot of Disney Cruise News updates in this video, from multiple price increases to new ship updates for the Disney Treasure, their newest ship coming out next year. There are a couple of new changes to the Merrytime cruises, and we have heard rumors that there's going to be a haunted mansion bar and lounge on the Disney Treasure. We are definitely going to dive into that. As a matter of fact, set your calendars, August 30th. They are going to reveal a lot of new details for the newest Disney cruise ship, the Disney Treasure, that is expected to come out next year. Later in the video, we also have new Castaway Cay family displays, new deck parties, and so much more. Starting off with Marvel and Pixar, some very beloved characters by many. Pixar Day and Marvel Day at Sea will be back in the early part of 2024. The Pixar Day at Sea is a day-long celebration. It's going to celebrate Toy Story, Monsters Inc., The Incredibles, Finding Nemo, and much more. The day starts off with a rootin' tootin' breakfast, a totally awesome pool party, themed activities and treats, and character encounters around every corner. And at the end of the evening, you'll cap it all off with a celebration dance party and deck show with your favorite Pixar pals. This Pixar Day at Sea will be available on the Fantasy on select sailings from Port Canaveral beginning on January 6th and ending on February 20th, 2024. And for you Marvel lovers, Marvel Day at Sea will be an action-packed day on select Disney Dream cruises from January 7th through March 8th, 2024. There will be entertainment all day, encounters with the largest assembly of Marvel superheroes and villains on land or at sea, and that is some of the very best character experiences on Disney Cruise Line, is when you're just walking around and you run into them. Of course, it's fun to get the picture and have the book signed, but it's really fun to interact with them throughout the course of the day. They're gonna have classic Avengers, Guardians of the Galaxy, Captain America, Thor, Scarlet Witch, so many favorites from Marvel. There will actually be more than 30 characters for their deck show. In addition, they'll have a spellbinding theater show, family game shows, themed youth activities, and special merchandise and menus, of course. Gotta have the treats. And speaking of new celebrations, there is actually going to be brand new entertainment experiences on the Christmas Merrytime cruises this winter. They state, quote, "The most wonderful time of the year will be even more joyful this holiday season as Disney Cruise Line unwraps new festivities for the whole family aboard very Merrytime cruises." For the tree lighting, they are going to have a new ceremony this year. One of my very favorite aspects of a Merrytime cruise is that first evening. Everybody will gather in the atrium. There's a 3-deck tall tree. They're gonna have a lighting ceremony for the tree, which is a lot of fun. There's a countdown, of course, all the characters, Santa Claus will show up. But what's also fun is they usually have a way of making snowfall in the atrium, and that's just something you need to experience in person. Of course, Disney characters are gonna be in their holly jolly attire, and they do have some new clothes to show off this year, and they will also have Mickey and Minnie's holiday party. This is a high energy deck party thrown by Mickey and Minnie that will take place on the upper decks for a one-of-a-kind celebration at sea filled with good tidings and cheer. They'll have all your favorite Disney pals there with plenty of classical and original holiday songs to sing along to. In addition to the new holiday attire and the new deck party, they're also going to have some new themed Merrytime activities for the entire family. And while you're wandering around, keep your eyes out for these carolers. It's so fun. Now, before we dive into this haunted mansion theory, there were a few more Disney Cruise announcements. Recently, Disney Cruise Line has announced that they are going to have an all-new commemorative display at Castaway Cay to honor families who have sailed 50 or more times with Disney Cruise Line. Castaway Cay is Disney Cruise Line's private island in the Bahamas. This will definitely be a lot of fun. Disney Cruise does feel like going home sometimes. I can only imagine if you had 50 or more cruises, it probably would definitely feel like home. Having the names there would be a lot of fun. The display will take residence near their island post office with a colorful fence that features the names of these families. And side note, that post office is supposed to still be in operation. You can get a Bahamian stamp from guest services and then drop mail as normal into the slot at the post office. If for some reason you cannot do it at the post office, sometimes they will take it at guest services and you can get it mailed from there. It's just kind of a fun thing to have a piece of mail come from Castaway Cay. Just this week, Disney Cruise Line did reveal that they will be having a grand virtual reveal of the all-new Disney Treasure. Unlocking the Disney Treasure adventure awaits on board Disney's newest cruise ship, Wednesday, August 30th at 11 a.m. We will be there taking careful notes so you can check back later in the day. We'll have it all summarized for you, so keep your eye out for a video on that. But first, there's a few new expense changes that have popped up. First of all is the Bahamas have increased their cruise tax. If you are cruising in the Bahamas, you are already paying port taxes within your fare. I don't know what date Disney Cruise Line is going to start doing these increases, but just good to be aware. The Bahamas has raised these port taxes. It's typically going to be about $5 to $7 per person, and it'll just get tacked on to your taxes that you pay along with the cost of the trip. Now, this leads us into another Another Disney Cruise update recently, they have created a new planning calculator and budgeting tools on their website. Disney Cruise Line can be really easy to pay off in some regards, especially if you book right away when those cruises come out. You're typically going to have about 450 days in between the booking date and the sailing date. So, to help with that, I think they have this new planning calculator and budgeting tools. Once you go into a cruise that you'll want to look a little deeper at, they'll have a rate and room details section where you can go see exactly how they've set up an installment example for your cruise. Typically, the deposit is 20% of the cost of the cruise fare. In February, though, pro tip, a lot of times they'll have a 10% deposit option available. So keep your eyes out for that. But basically, you can just build this into your budget, make monthly payments. As long as you pay it off in time or before time, you can even cancel for a full refund if you needed to. This is only for planning purposes. It's not an actual payment plan, but it's really handy. It can help you calculate the sample payment plan for your cruise. You can put in a preferred payment frequency or custom amount for personalizing it to what will work for you. One other update in regards to increased prices is for their internet. Disney Cruise Line's internet is already expensive and really does not work all that well. These internet pricing changes are for the time-based onboard internet packages that they offer. They actually do not offer this on the Disney Wonder at all. The Magic Wish Dream and Fantasy have implemented these prices already. You are able to choose per voyage or per 24 hours for the internet. The very cheapest Stay Connected package is going to be $16 a day for the full voyage or $18 when purchased for 24 hours. Their premium package is going to be $34 a day for the full voyage or $42 a day for 24 hours. Of course, if you need to use the internet while you're on a cruise, you're probably going to pay whatever it is because you need it, which is what makes it worth it. But their prices are pretty high. If you can handle doing the entire cruise without internet, I highly suggest it. It really is so much more relaxing that way, but sometimes you just have to have internet. So, pro tip, there are two things that you can do here in addition to this package. On the first day of your cruise, go to the internet desk. There is a little bit of internet that's available for free on that first day. Make sure and put your phone on airplane mode. Disney Cruise Line's Wi-Fi will work on airplane mode, as does their Disney Cruise Line Navigator app, which you should download as soon as you book your cruise. You'll need it for practically everything. They also have iPhone to iPhone messaging and WhatsApp messaging that is typically available at no charge, so that's another option as well. There's a couple of other things that have changed recently. The Census Spa process has changed. You now book an appointment time slot instead of an appointment activity. So for instance, if you want to get a massage, you're going to book a 2 o'clock time slot instead of booking a specific massage. I'm not really sure how that's going to work out if you want a very specific service, but that's their new process. And this ship speaker that everybody is trying to get is available through onboard gifts now. It's approximately $120. I have not used it, but I have seen a lot of people say it works really well. And of course, that's fun to have in your pool. One other new thing that is happening is on the Disney Dream. Disney Cruise Line is debuting a brand new pop deck party on select sailings of the Disney Dream. Mickey's Color Spin Dance Party is complete with colorful new fun for the whole family and a 90s throwback feel. Of course, Mickey and Minnie will be there, and Max will be there as well. Each character is assigned a color, and when the wheel lands on their color, it's time to party. This deck party is very interactive with families singing, dancing, and yes, even doing the wave and hand jive. Two unique renditions of iconic Disney songs. I haven't done the wave or the hand jive in a long time. Just a little bit of a flashback for you. If you want to join in dressing for the fun, they encourage all partygoers to dress like their favorite character for the festivities, or feel free to join the color crew dancers who will don colorful throwback tracksuits on stage. This party is on Disney Cruise Line on the Disney Dream this summer. It's wild because summer is still going on in some places, and in some places summer is completely over, but either way, and they actually just started it a couple of weeks ago. One other little thing I like to note, because Disney Cruise Line is really good with environmental stewardship, and they actually won the Port of Vancouver's Blue Circle Award for environmental stewardship. This is the 10th consecutive year that they've won it, and it's really about a long-standing commitment to operate responsibly and sustainably while in the Pacific Northwest. One of the ways they do that is in Alaska and Canada. They'll turn off the ship's engines and rely strictly on port's shoreside electricity grid when available. When that happens, the onboard lighting, air conditioning, crew systems, and much more are able to run nearly emission-free, which is pretty impressive. One other quick note, in the Castaway Club membership, those that are Pearl members, which is the highest tier you can get, no longer select port arrival times. They will just automatically be placed into the first boarding group for their cruise. So if you do a whole lot of cruises, it's kind of a nice little perk. You just don't have to worry about getting on there at midnight Eastern Standard Time to grab a port arrival time. Okay, now to the most fun part, the Disney Treasure. The next ship that will come out for Disney Cruise Line will be the Disney Treasure. This is part of their Triton class of ships, the first of which came out last year, and that was the Disney Wish. While the Disney Wish is based on Cinderella and a beautiful castle at sea, the Disney Treasure is going to be all about adventure. I am so excited for this ship. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. This is slated to come out sometime in late 2024. I don't think it'll be before October 2024, but time will tell, of course. Last month, they announced that Disney Treasure's stern will feature Captain Hook and Peter Pan. In the atrium, they will have Jasmine, Aladdin, and the Flying Carpet. Walt Disney World News Today shared a rumor recently that the Disney Treasure will feature the world's first haunted mansion bar and lounge. And I think they're right. Now, this reveal is from Disney's D23. These are basically Disney fan events that are held every other year. When they held this one last year, while they were doing the name reveal of the Disney Treasure, they also showed some characters in the windows. One of those windows has 3 ghosts from the Haunted Mansion. Of course, Haunted Mansion is a very popular ride at Disney. It's actually one of my favorite rides. I am extremely excited to see what they might do with the Haunted Mansion bar and lounge on the Disney cruise ship. The Disney Treasure will have a very similar layout to the Disney Wish. The Disney Wish has this bar, Star Wars Hyperspace Lounge. I believe this is exactly where they would put the Haunted Mansion bar and lounge. Walt Disney World News Today speculated this would be the place as well. Basically, in that bar, they have a screen on the back where they can have constantly moving worlds for Star Wars out there. So that's going to be perfect to put ghosts dancing, creeping in, whatever it is. I think there's a lot of opportunity here to have a really interesting decor with eerie elegance, spooky sophistication. Of course, things are gonna float through the air, which is really easy to do on those screens. One of the fun thing I think they could do with the Haunted Mansion bar and lounge is they could have the ghost hosts reflecting back in the mirror. They could all of a sudden be sitting right behind you on the table, drinking your drink. I think they really could have a lot of fun with this theming. I hope that they do it, and I hope that they do it well. I wouldn't be surprised if they have some photo opportunities there as well. I think there's also a lot of opportunity here to do some really unique cocktails. I did a little bit of a search on this. There's a couple that I thought would be really good. Madame Leota's Mystical Martini, vodka, elderflower liqueur, lavender syrup, lemon juice, and an edible shimmer dust. That would be so cool, especially if it's in a crystal ball glass. I also found one for a hitchhiking ghost goblet with white rum, coconut cream, pineapple juice, blue curacao, and lime juice. I think that would be really good as well. They could also have a really cool souvenir mug for that one. I'm sure these ghoulishly good cocktails are sure to cast a spell on any guest that visits the Haunted Mansion bar and lounge. I hope this is true. I really do think it will be. Definitely the Disney Treasure is going to be based off the Disney Wish. They're not going to redo these spaces. As a matter of fact, the Star Wars Hyperspace Lounge is where the Skyline Lounge is on the other cruise ships. Very small, has that screen going in the back, and the Skyline Lounge, it will show you different skylines from around the world, which is also a lot of fun. But my point is they reuse these spaces. They reinvent them. And I think this is the perfect space for a Haunted Mansion bar lounge. They could really do that up for the holidays even. I think it would be really popular. The Star Wars Hyperspace Lounge really did disappoint a little bit because of the screen aspect. I think the screen aspect is absolutely perfect for a Haunted Mansion theme though. If you like this video, please share it with a friend or your cruise group. That really is the best way to help us grow. We really appreciate it. While you're waiting for more Disney cruise news, go check out 11 things you should never do on a Disney cruise ship.